Alright, so welcome back to my page again, Jovan Lachey. This week I'm going to be discussing just some of the things that I found interesting that happened throughout the course of the week. You know, I'm an avid entertainment news follower, political news follower, and just anything that catches my particular attention. I love music, and I love, all those type of things that most of us like to do. So I'm going to talk about those things once a week as well, and I'm going to try to post these to YouTube. Remember that you all can like this. I really do hope that you like what I'm doing. Feel free to comment the good, the bad, and the ugly. And remember that you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Tumblr, and you can also follow me right here on YouTube at Jovan Lachey, J-O-V as in Victor, O-N-L-A-C-H-E-Y. So we're going to talk about a couple things this week. A few of the stories I want to talk about is Jusitin Beiber pissing in a bucket. That little boy is out of control. I mean, all the way out of control. Also, Lamar Odom, he went off on the paparazzis this week. A big one that I want to talk about is Leah Remini and how she left the Church of Scientology, and also Elisabeth Hasselback and how she's leaving The View. Also, Amanda Bynes, I mean, she's in the news every single day now. She's definitely using Twitter for what it's worth for her. And also I want to talk about some pictures, particularly some pictures of Ashanti and of Beyonce. Talk a little bit about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. One of my most favorite shows. Is just so ratchet and so nasty that I can't stop watching it. Also, Sierra, her new album came out this week. Halle Berry's getting married. Monica and Shannon Brown, they celebrated their second wedding anniversary. The 50 Cent text messages to his son. Now that's interesting as well. Also, Tamar talking about her baby and how she felt about him the very first time that she saw him. And then something else that I want to talk about, Big Brother, the reality television show, and a lot of the scandal that's going on there this season. So I do want to go ahead and start off with Elisabeth Hasselback and her leaving The View. Elizabeth, she's been on The View for about 10 years now, and she brings a different voice to that panel of women than what is usually heard there. Usually the four other women, they're very liberal leaning or very left leaning, and they all line up on that one topic, on that one side of that issue. But Elisabeth, she has been a person who has been able to differentiate her voice from all those other women's voices on there, and she brings more of a right leaning or conservative leaning view to a lot of the topics, especially when it comes to them talking about politics and things of that nature. I personally am going to miss Elisabeth being on there. I know that she's been a lightning rod, and a lot of people feel one way or another about her. I definitely appreciate that modicum of diversity that she brought to the show. Not diversity in race or anything like that, but diversity of opinion. I can't watch anything or really line up behind anything and just hear one side of an issue all the time. Even when I go online to read my news, I read several different sources. I try not to stick to one newspaper, one network, one news source. I try to see what everyone is saying, form those things together in my own mind, and then come up with my own opinion. So Elisabeth is definitely going to be missed there on The View. I am curious to see who they are going to get to replace her. She's going over to Fox News to be on their morning show, Fox and Friends. Now, I just hope that she doesn't get over there and she becomes too right-leaning and she can't see, some of the issues from the other side as well. So good luck to Elisabeth Hasselback, and again, she's definitely going to be missed on The View. So let's go on and talk a little bit about Jusitin Beiber. Okay, so TMZ this week, they released a video of Jusitin leaving a restaurant, and when he was leaving a restaurant, he said that he had to piss, and on his way out this back entrance, this boy goes and pisses in a mop bucket. A mop bucket that somebody probably who works there on the janitorial staff uses every day to keep the stuff clean around there. So while he's pissing in the bucket, His friends are back there co-signing, talking about, yeah, piss in that bucket. Everybody pisses in the bathroom, and you know you're different. Go ahead and do it. And they're just egging him on. So I'm like, really? Who pisses in a bucket? So the other thing that got me was that while he's pissing in this bucket, it's this grown ass man standing right on the steps, right above where he was pissing, looking directly at him. This man didn't move not one time while Justin was sitting there taking the piss. So that's not even the end of the story. He goes and as he's leaving, going up the steps where the man was just watching him take a piss, there's a spray bottle. Looked like it was Windex or something they used to clean with. Then there's a picture of former President Bill Clinton on the wall there. So he squirts the picture and says, "Fuck Bill Clinton." Yeah, I had to pause on that. He said, "Fuck Bill Clinton." I mean, again, who does that? I mean, yeah, you may not like Bill Clinton, but in regards to Justin, somebody really needs to like take their belt off and literally whoop his ass. I mean, Usher, whoever, Will, Jada, somebody pull this boy's coattail, tell him that he's getting out of control and that it's no longer cute anymore. I'm actually kind of tired of him. I thought he was going to evolve a little more in regards to his music and not be so in the news for these type of stunts that he's pulling every day. But I don't see it lasting too much longer for him. And his mom really needs to, you know, talk to him as well. I don't know if she can't talk to him because of who he is and, you know, where he is currently in the world. But again, somebody definitely needs to pull this boy to the side. Alright, so Lamar Odom, again, TMZ, they got pictures, not pictures, but video of Lamar actually going in on a paparazzi. Now, this paparazzi person wasn't a member of TMZ. I believe I heard him say that he was from Radar Online. So, this guy, paparazzi, he is spotted Lamar in his car. So he proceeds to ask Lamar about his relationship with Chloe and if they were still together and what was going on with that. So that really pissed Lamar off. Lamar gets out of his car. He wasn't shouting and cussing and all of that. He just gets in his car and he goes and he takes the guy's equipment. I mean, I know this equipment costs a lot of money. I mean, my little stuff that I got here ain't nothing compared to what the paparazzi, what they do. So he takes this equipment. He breaks something. I don't know if he actually broke the camera because the guy still was filming with his camera. So he breaks something, and he takes the rest of the equipment, put it in the back of his trunk. And then as he's putting it in the back of his trunk, he closes the door. Lamar just do a complete 180 as this girl comes over and she wants to take a picture with him. So homegirl, she gets her camera out, she takes a picture. Lamar was so nice about it and he just poses with her for this picture. So the paparazzi guy, of course, he was upset because Lamar took his equipment. But the paparazzi, they really do need to realize that these celebrities, they are still human. I mean, and they do deserve some type of respect when they're out in public. I know that they sign up for, you know, all the paparazzi, the cameras. They sign up for all of that when they actually reach a certain level of fame. But that still doesn't mean that you can't respect their personal space and you can't respect their privacy to an extent. So shouts out to Lamar Odom. Just don't get locked up, beating up people and breaking their equipment and everything. You know, everybody's trying to get a case out here nowadays. So now one story that I want to talk about that I really found interesting this week was Leah Remini. You all will remember her from Kings of Queens. She played his wife. I actually remember her from being on Saved by the Bell back in the day. The version of Saved by the Bell when I think they had graduated from high school already and they was working at this beach. I want to try to find some clip of that and put a picture up of her from Saved by the Bell. That's how I first came to know her, but she's most known for her time on Kings of Queens. So, Leah Remini has been a member of the Church of Scientology for quite some time. I believe even back to her Saved by the Bell days or shortly after her Saved by the Bell days. So I guess no one really knows what the Church of Scientology is. I've been doing research on them, trying to read about them, and figure out what it is that they exactly believe in and exactly what they do. But for whatever reason, a lot of celebrities are drawn to the Church of Scientology. I think we all know that Tom Cruise and John Travolta, also Kirstie Alley, and then there's a ton of other like A-, B+, C-list celebrities who are members of the Church of Scientology. For whatever reason, the Church of Scientology has a lock on the celebrities, especially out there in Hollywood. So Leah Remini this week, she announces her departure from the Church of Scientology for her own personal reasons, and she released this quote here. She says, "I wish to share my sincere and heartfelt appreciation for the overwhelming positive responses I have received from the media, my colleagues, and from the fans around the world. I am truly grateful and thankful for all your support." Now, she released this statement to People magazine. Then they asked David Miscavige. David Miscavige, he happens to be the leader of the Church of Scientology, and not too many people have good things to say about him. People who have left the Church of Scientology have said that he is a tyrant, that he smacks people, he pushes people, he spits on people, that he does all type of stuff to people that the average person wouldn't take. So he responded through the Church of Scientology, and they literally had no comment about Leah leaving the Church of Scientology. I am curious to really know why she left the church, and maybe she just had got tired of, you know, her time there and the beliefs and what actually goes on inside of the Church of Scientology, because we really don't know. It's shrouded in cult secrecy. So shouts out to Leah Remini. Good luck. Hopefully you can find you a good Bible thumping, good old scripture preaching, scripture teaching church somewhere, and you can continue on your spiritual journey. Alright, so Amanda Bynes. I mean, who hasn't this girl called ugly? Every week she's calling somebody ugly. She's called Drake ugly. She wouldn't even call Drake's mom ugly. I mean, and countless other people ugly. I'm waiting for her to call Rihanna ugly, because Rihanna will call her out, and that will be something on Twitter that I definitely would want to see. So this past week, she takes it to another level, and she says the Obamas are ugly. Yes, President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama. So she calls them ugly, and of course everyone in the media, all the media outlets picked up on it. They're reporting on it. Again, this is another person who definitely needs help. She needs more than help. This girl, she needs Jesus. So Jesus, please come and take the will from this girl. Take Twitter out of her hand. Just help this girl, because I believe something really is wrong in her mind. You know, this girl definitely needs some type of help. She really is seeking for attention, and I think she's really going about it the wrong way. But then people like me and people like the other people who do these type of videos and who are on Twitter all the time are actually responding to her and eating it up, and she keeps her name in the news. I mean, she stay on Entertainment Tonight, Access Hollywood, Inside Edition, all of those type of shows. So she's doing something to keep her name out of there. I don't know what her next career move is going to be. If she's going to try to sing, from my understanding, she's going to try to get a album produced by Waka Flocka Flame. Waka Flocka, I mean, somebody need to come produce him an album. But that's neither here nor there. So I hope that's not the route she's going, but that's what I'm hearing. And I don't know what she's going to do in regards to acting. I mean, I don't know if any Hollywood agents or any directors would want to take a chance with working with somebody who's this emotionally unstable. So again, she needs some definite help there. Also, the ESPN body issue came out this week. That body issue, I mean, is every single thing. A few people that caught my attention and that I can remember off the top of my head being in there is Colin Kaepernick, the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, and a basketball player by the name of Josh Wall, I believe. So they're in there. You know, the body issue gets these celebrities and have them, you know, pretty much get naked without showing their actual goodies. I mean, I kind of wish they did show some of these people goodies just so I can see the picture. I ain't gonna lie, I do like to see the picture, but ESPN always does a good job with tastefully shooting these people and doing it in an art type of fashion. So shouts out to ESPN and the annual body issue there. I'm going to show some pictures of that body issue there. I think you all need to see that. I'm quite sure you can go on to ESPN, talk about the body issue, or see some of the pictures from the body issue. Alright, so Ciara, she releases a new album, or she released a new album this week. Ciara's been off the scene for quite some time. I remember when she first came out with Goodies. I was in college at that time, so I'm kind of dating myself a little bit. And I was just not a freshman in college. I think I actually was a senior in college the year that Goodies came out. So she has a new album out. We all just saw her performance last week on the BET Awards, where she did a great job to me. I mean, she absolutely tore the house down. She sang and she did what she does best, which is dance and, you know, move all over that stage. I mean, it wasn't one part of that stage that she didn't touch on the BET Awards. So this new album that she has out, she executive produced it alongside her boyfriend, Future, and also the legendary L.A. Reid, the record man L.A. Reid. So they produced it. And Vibe actually gave her a pretty good write-up. They're saying that it's a really listenable album for the summer, that there really is not one song on the album that they didn't like, and that's something that you can put in your car and play out. And they actually said that she has about 6 singles on here, so this must be a pretty good album for Vibe to say that she has 6 potential singles that she could release off of here. And it's a self-titled album, so if you're looking for that, quite sure it's at all your retailers, on iTunes, all of those type of places there. So Halle Berry, the ever pregnant Halle Berry, she's getting married. She's getting married to her, I can't say longtime fiance, but her fiance Olivier Martinez, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He's a French actor, and he also is a boxer. We found out that he was a boxer when he laid the smackdown on Holly's baby daddy. What's his name? Gabriel, the model, the white dude that's the model. So we figured out that Olivier was a boxer when that happened. So she is supposed to be getting married this weekend. So I'm quite sure on Monday, Tuesday, some pictures will emerge online and through all the major media outlets, and we'll see what she had on or what she didn't have on. Now, we also may not be able to see that because, again, he's from France, and Holly has been trying to get to France for quite some time and take her little girl there because, again, she's has major issues with the paparazzi, with them following her around and following her little girl around. And over in France, they have really strong privacy laws. So in France, you cannot just get up and stalk these celebrities and take their pictures and just follow them around everywhere they go. So I believe they're getting married over in France. So if that's the case, we may not see any pictures unless she releases those pictures. So good luck to Halle Berry, and I wish this marriage all the best. I think she's been married 2 or 3 other times. I know she was married to Eric Benet. She was married to David Justice, and she's been with countless other Hollywood type men. So I really hope that Holly finds the love that she so desperately is looking for. So another person who is recently a new mother, Tamar Braxton. An article came out this week where she was talking about, you know, her giving birth and the fact that when she first saw her son, that it wasn't love at first sight, that he's a little yummy creature and all of this stuff, but that she did not instantly fall in love with him, and that, you know, she thought that was a lie because people say, oh, when you see the baby, you're going to fall in love with him. And she just says that that was not her experience, which I believe is quite true for a lot of women. I mean, you do carry this baby for 9 months, but not everyone feels the same once they actually deliver their baby. Somebody else who's pregnant and is having a seemingly happy marriage is my favorite singer, Monica. Monica and her husband, NBA star Shannon Brown, they recently celebrated their 2nd wedding anniversary, and she is a big user of social media, particularly Instagram. So she released a lot of pictures detailing their time together so far, leading up to her current pregnancy. I believe Monica is due sometime late this summer, early September. She actually looks really good pregnant. I mean, pregnancy just brings out a special glow in her. Essence Magazine, they also have a timeline of a lot of the pictures of her and Shannon's time together. So congratulations to Monica and Shannon, and continued success in their marriage as well. So we also have Basketball Wives Miami, or just Basketball Wives, however you want to talk about it. They are actually going to be returning, so they finally got their date to actually return back to air on VH1. There are going to be some changes to the cast this upcoming season. There's only going to be 5 cast members as opposed to, I believe they had a maximum of like 8 or 9 cast members at one time. Jennifer won't be there. Royce won't be there. I don't even think Tammy is going to be there. I think there's only 5 cast members, and let's see who these people are going to be. So coming back this season is Susie Ketchum, Shawnee O'Neal, Evelyn Lozado. Oh yeah, and Tammy, she's going to be there as well. And also one new member, Tasha Marbury. Now Tasha, she was married to Stefan Marbury for 10 years before she found out some crazy stuff about him. So apparently he was paying this lady who happened to be their chef. He was paying her a monthly stipend to be quiet about the fact that they were having a extramarital affair. So he was having an affair with this lady, and he promised to pay her $1 million, but he only made good on $700,000 of it. So she's actually taking him to court to get the rest of her 300 stacks. So she wants her money, and I'm quite sure they're going to talk about that this season on Basketball Wives Basketball Wives Miami. I personally was never a big fan of that show, but I mean, you cannot help but talk about it or get in discussions about it because a lot of other people do watch that. So Basketball Wives LA, they apparently, I keep saying Basketball Wives LA, Basketball Wives, they apparently had lost their time slot to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, when it came out last summer, it just took off and caught like wildfire, and everybody has been talking about it ever since then. You know, and usually Basketball Wives, they came on the same time that Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is on right now. But again, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was making no money, and they wasn't caught up in any controversies like that, so VH1 had given that slot to Love and Hip Hop. So Love and Hip Hop this season has been entertaining, as it always has been. But one thing that everyone's talking about right now, one thing that I find to be real disrespectful, is the fact that Kurt has been disrespecting his wife Rashida on national television. So we all know that Rashida is pregnant, and that her and Kurt was having some issues about the direction of her career since she became pregnant. Kurt wasn't happy at all about the fact that she was pregnant. So on this past week's episode, he goes up to this lake resort with Benzino, and these 2 ladies were there, and he happened to be in the bed with them, rolling around in their underwear and doing God knows what with these 2 women who were not named Rashida. So he goes back home, and you know, he's talking to Rashida, and what's her name? The girl, Tracy Steele, she happens to see him out in the club, and he's there, and this one lady, one of the 2 women that he was with at the lake, she's there, she's all boo-loved up with him, rubbing on him, talking about, yeah, we was at the club, turned up, and all of this. And then Bambi from Basketball Wives LA, that's why I kept saying Basketball Wives LA, she happens to be there, and she's like, yeah, girl, we was there, we was turned up. I mean, all tall, looking just like Antoine Dotson, putting the battery in this girl's back and smiling and stuff like it was funny. I mean, Kurt is a married man, so you have to respect people's relationships and all that type of thing. You got to have some respect for yourself. You got to have respect for that person's relationship and that person's significant other. So, I mean, they doing all of this stuff for the cameras. Who knows if it's real or not, or they're just putting this on for ratings. So Wendy Williams, that's exactly how she feels. She's saying that Kurt and Rashida, they have gone even lower than the Kardashians. Like, they're going all the way out just for ratings for a television show. So Wendy feels that it's being fake. So shout out to Wendy Williams. I definitely respect a lot of what she has to say, because a lot of times Wendy Williams is right on what she has to say. So what else can we talk about here? Oh, there's some pictures of Beyonce, who just recently came out. She did a a shoot for a magazine called Flaunt Magazine. I mean, these pictures that came out, she's covered in glitter. It's all these different shades and different tones and everything. So Flaunt Magazine does these pictures for her. Very high fashion, but with a real technology bent to them. I don't know if I'm in love with the pictures, but I can't say that I don't like the pictures. The pictures, obviously they're photoshopped because some of the poses that she's hitting in these pictures, I mean, not a human couldn't do that on their own. But again, shout out to Beyonce and her photo shoot with Flaunt Magazine. Somebody else who has some really nice pictures out this week is Ashanti. Yeah, Ashanti. I mean, she has on this black and white dress, I believe, at the Grown Ups 2 world premiere on their red carpet. So she walks the red carpet, and I mean, these pictures of her, Ashanti looks good. Ashanti is probably top 5 when it comes to looks in the game right now. If she keeps looking like this, I mean, she's definitely going to keep appearing in all of these magazines and everything like that if she keeps storming the runways the way that she's storming them now. Of course, Jay-Z has an album coming out, Magna Carta. There was a big old stink about the fact that Samsung purchased 1 million copies of it, and on, I think, last week sometime, it was available for download for people who had Samsung phones. You could download it to your phone. So that made Jay-Z's album go platinum before it even came out. I say that it did go platinum. Some people say no, it didn't go platinum, but it did go platinum because RIAA, they actually issued him his platinum certification, so he's already shifted 1 million. So they're saying next week that when the album actually comes out, that he's going to sell between 400 and 600,000. So his album's going to be close to double platinum just in 2 weeks. So shouts out to Jay-Z. He's been all over Vine, producing videos, and actually getting on Twitter. I mean, Jay-Z never gets on Twitter, so he was on Twitter chatting up with his fans. A lot of people feel like that he's doing that only to sell the album, that he never gets on Twitter. So, I mean, you can take it or you can leave it. You use Twitter for what it is worth, and I guess he got on there and he's using it as a marketing tool. So, shouts out to Jay-Z. I don't purchase rap albums like that, not unless it's somebody who really catches my attention. But shouts out to Jay-Z, and good luck with his album there. Also, 50 Cent. 50 Cent made the news this week as well. Him and these text messages apparently between him and his son, or him and his ex-wife there. So these text messages come out. Radar Online has the text messages. Allegedly, these text messages again were between his son and his ex-wife. So in the text messages, 50 Cent says that he goes over to the house to see his son, but when he gets there, the lights are on, but when he knocks on the door and rings the doorbell, that the lights automatically shut off and nobody comes to the door. So he texts his son and says, well, I saw y'all, why did you do that? And his son said, oh, I was in the basement, I didn't hear you. So 50 Cent texts him back and says, well, you're no longer my son, I'm taking you out of my will. So I don't know. It's a lot of stuff going on. I know if 50 Cent was my dad, I definitely would not be acting like that towards him. I mean, he's definitely not old enough to be my dad, but if he was, I wouldn't be acting like that. I definitely would be using that for all that it is worth. So I think that's all of the entertainment related stories that I wanted to talk about this week. But now there is one story in particular that I definitely want to spend a little bit of time talking about. Not too much time, because if I talk about it too much, I am going to get pissed off. So I've been watching the television series Big Brother ever since it came out in the year 2000. That came out, I think, the summer after I graduated from high school, and I've watched it every single season since it's been on. Right now, Big Brother is in season 15, and it comes on CBS. It comes on CBS, I believe, 3 times a week. So I watch it. I'm an avid fan. Watched it all the time. So this season, apparently, there's been some racial tension on the show. There's 3 distinct minority individuals on the show this year. There's an African American guy by the name of Howard. He's all built, cut up, church going, the Bible in and out. Then there's a biracial girl named Candace. She was adopted by a white family, but her actual family is black. I mean, she's gorgeous. I mean, this girl is pretty. She used to be a NFL cheerleader, I believe, NFL or NBA cheerleader. And then there's an older Asian woman by the name of Helen on there. Helen is from Chicago, and she works for the city government there. So she's a politico in that aspect. So then there's two or three racist people on there. There's this one girl named Erin. She's a young girl. I believe she's still in college. And she's this supposed model. Everybody and their mom think that just because they have blonde hair, blue eyes, and they're skinny, and they got a nice breast size, that they should be a model. That's neither here nor there. So then there's another lady on here by the name of Gina Marie, and she's from New York, Long Island, if I'm not mistaken. So these two have been being disrespectful this season on Big Brother. So the one episode or the one clip that I'm going to try to show is of Erin. She had apparently turned the bed over where Candace sleeps. Okay, so Candace comes in and she wants to know who turned the bed over, why was the bed turned over. And so then Erin goes into this old stereotypical black girl voice like, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, girl? So she's calling this woman girl. I mean, you don't do that. You don't call a black woman girl, and you don't call a black man boy. That's just something that you don't do. And then the way that she was doing it to get a reaction from Candace. So Howard hears what's going on. Howard comes in the room, and at this point, Gina Marie is in Candace's face talking about, oh, so the black is going to come out of you now? What you going to do? Go ahead, do something, hit me. So Gina Marie is all the way turned up, trying to get this girl to hit her. If you hit somebody on Big Brother, that's an automatic expulsion. You're getting kicked out the house, so you can't do that on Big Brother.
No.
I know somebody got one more time to flip my bed, and it's gonna be all hell in this house.
Woo! I'd like to see that.
What you gonna do, girl?
See the black girl come out of you.
I will.
Do something. Do it right now.
I would love to see you make
I want to see it right now.
Do
I'm not
it.
making
Do
a fool
it.
of myself.
Well, then don't talk. And first of all, I wouldn't get in your bed anyway with all them crabs.
Right.
Gosh.
I'm sleeping in this bed anyway.
Good.
And I just heard you talking some stupid shit out there, so.
Good. I'm happy you flipped
That's fine.
it.
I'm just gonna be
Flip
loud.
it
Are
again.
you?
All damn night.
Are you? What else?
Ooh.
What's up, Howard?
Flip this
It's
bed
so
again and see what's
good.
going. I came in here and they flipped the mattress and threw all the pillows on the floor. So
You're
do it
being
again,
crazy.
Erin.
Talking shit.
What you gonna
You're
do,
gonna be loud all
girl?
night.
What you gonna do, class girl? Where's your class?
So much fun.
Howie.
Okay,
Howie's
first of
not
all,
gonna back you up at all.
Howard's a man.
Come here.
He's not going to fight with girls.
I
so
never
he's-
asked him to fight with
Say
girls.
that.
So you don't
Everybody
need him
talks
to
shit about
protect
in this
you.
house.
You didn't need
She's
Nick to be in this
talking
house
sorry.
with you, so shut
Candace,
the
Candace.
fuck up.
Every single
That's why
time.
he's not here.
What do you want to say?
Candace,
What do you
no
want
one
to
in
say?
this house
I'm not
Candace.
gonna fight with you.
What you gonna say? What you gonna say? Get in my face. What you gonna say? What you gonna say? What you gonna say? You want the black to come out because now the white's this way and the black's that way?
Yeah.
I don't need you to protect me.
Everybody is keeping you here for a target.
Everybody good.
So Howard, he comes in, he gets between Gina Marie and Candace, and he takes her out of the room, and then he's explaining to her very sensibly, and he was right about this. He was like, look, you can't give them a reaction. You can't be arguing with them, because if you keep arguing with them, it's going to make me mad, talking about himself, and it's going to make me want to go off. And he's telling her, we can't do that right now. We got to look towards the long haul so we can try to win this money on the show. You win $500,000 if you win Big Brother. So Howard talks some sense into her in this particular scene, and he smoothed it over with Candace at that point. So in this past Thursday's episode, Julie Chen, who happens to be Asian, she's married to Les Moonves, who is the president of CBS where she works, and then she also is the host of The Talk that comes on CBS as well. So Julie Chen is the host of Big Brother. So she goes in and she says to the house, when she appears on the camera for the house, and she says, you know, you guys are being monitored 24/7, and all of your actions are available for the world to see. So she specifically asks Erin, was she aware of that? Erin says, well, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I'm a real person, and people get to see who I am. So during that episode, one of the other white female contestants in the house, I can't remember her name right now, but I think she may be one of the people who actually may win. But she went to Erin and she says, you know that people are in the house saying that you are a racist and that you really need to pipe down on some of the things that you are saying. So Erin, she goes and she says, I really wish I had time to care about the situation, but I don't. So I'm like, wow, this girl really has some balls. But little does she know that when she leaves the house, that she no longer has a job. She was dropped by her modeling agency. And then Gina Marie, she also lost her job as well, and she was some type of pageant coordinator. So I do hope that things get a little better on Big Brother this season, and that this is not a point of contention all season long. They just need to go ahead and evict Aaron and Gina Marie from the house from Big Brother. So I'm going to digress, and I'm going to just say thank you. Thank you for watching this. Again, remember that you can follow me on YouTube right here. You can follow me on Twitter. And you can follow what I'm saying on Tumblr at Jovan Lachey, JOVONLACHEY. So Jovan Lachey. You can follow me on all your social media networks. Again, thank you. And I'll be back here next week, and I'll talk about what happened for the upcoming week. Take care.